Hello campers, it's Holden here, and I'd like to discuss a story that's been making headlines recently. The story, as published by CBS News, is titled Video Shows New Jersey Teacher Protecting Student from Teenage Attackers. And this was published on October 25th, 2024. Let's take a look at it. Here you can see the teacher that is being discussed. This is Miss Kathy Hurley, who is a special education teacher. And the story coming from Bayonne, New Jersey. I think that's how you pronounce Bayonne. A New Jersey educator saw a student being attacked by a group of other teenagers and used her own body to shield him. It happened outside Shimen Midtown Community School in Bayonne on Tuesday. And this particular article narrates the story, but let me just play this video here real quick so you can see exactly what happened. Again, this is Miss Kathy Hurley. Here is the video. Ooh, she drops on top of him and they just run off. And to be completely honest, that's actually the very first time that I saw this video. I actually thought that it was much worse than what I saw here. Just based on what the how the story reads. Let me just read the story for you so you can see. It says, dramatic video shows a boy being stomped, punched, and dragged by a group of teens. Onlookers stand around and watch, but Kathy Hurley did the opposite. You know, when you hear stomped, punched, and dragged by a group of teens, you know, let me go back to this video here. And I'm not trying to make light of this. I'm kind of laughing at the fact that it was a little bit different than what I expected. Let's take a look. Okay, so on second watch, I did see them kicking and stomping his head, which, yeah, that's pretty serious. And what I did read in this article is that at one point the victim was unconscious. So pretty severe, and there might have been more that happened that was not actually caught on video. So I'm not exactly sure. But the focus of the story here is that this teacher jumped out on this student, and it says here, Hurley tries putting her arms out but is ignored. Then the special education teacher places her body on top of the victim, also covering his head to protect him from further harm. So you can see that in the video. It's not really until she kind of takes his head into his arms that there's any type of reaction or stopping from the attack, says Hurley's daughter, Frances Sealski. It says here that within 2 days, police arrested 5 teenagers and charged them with aggravated assault, endangering an injured victim, and rioting, as should have happened. And it says here, Hurley's daughter says her mom returned to work the following day to tend to her students. And although she's getting a lot of attention from this incident, her daughter says she's laying low because what she did was a no-brainer. Jumping down, risking her life for someone else. And that is actually why I am making this video and why this intrigues me, because there is somewhat of a debate. Different people have different perspectives on whether or not teachers should do these things. Now, this happened outside of school, so the case is a little bit different, but as far as fights breaking out in school and things like this happening, some teachers stand on the side of you should jump in and intervene and stop a fight. But other teachers stand on the side of I'm not jumping in because I'm not getting hurt and it's a liability issue. I'm not doing this. I'm not getting in the middle. I'm waiting until the fight ends, and then I'm grabbing those students and taking them out. There are different types of approaches, and the policy on this may differ from district to district, but that's what I'm curious about. For the teachers out there, what do you think about this? Are you willing? Are you the type of teacher that jumps in to the middle of a fight and will stop the fight? Or are you a type of teacher that is going to wait on the sidelines, wait until an opportune moment, and then grab those students once the fight is over? And that's what I want you to talk about down in the comment section. So make sure that you let me know. Tell us your fight stories and your approach to these kinds of things, because I want to hear all about it. But I also want to give you my perspective and just a little bit of my commentary on this sort of thing. So I actually did jump in last year and stopped 3 fights, 3 different fights. And that just was me going and grabbing a student and putting them in a lock or pulling them away from a fight or whatever the case may be. And after those 3 fights, I was told by some of my colleagues. They said, "Yeah, I wouldn't do that, and you shouldn't do that either." And I understand what they're saying, because it is a liability issue. I, something could get put on me. Like if a student was injured, then somehow I could be implicated in the incident. But kind of like with this teacher here, Miss Kathy Hurley, in this article, it is somewhat instinctual for me to get in and try and do good where I can to try and prevent harm from these students. But after those incidents last year, I kind of started to rethink my stance on this. Like, what should I do and how should I handle these issues? And again, I'm looking for some insight from you all to see what you think about this. But I do want to talk about what this teacher did here, and kind of where just something else to think about, because I've also read a few news articles and I've heard just people talking online. I believe there was a headline recently that, amidst all of the school violence and some of the incidents that have happened this year, some of the very tragic incidents, some teachers have come out saying taking a bullet for a student is not in my job description. Some teachers have taken that stance. That's what they're saying. They're saying I applaud these other teachers jumping in the way and risking their lives and doing that, but I'm not willing to do that. And let me just read this here for you, because this is where my perspective comes from. All right, and let me just show you this here real quick. Okay. All right, you've seen it. You've seen it here first, folks. Now, this is actually from John chapter 15, verse 13. It says, actually, let me back up to verse 12. My commandment is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. And that verse sits with me. Now, and if you are to believe in the story of Jesus and the fact that in the story he sacrifices himself for the sins of the world, Jesus lived that example and risked his life for the lives of others. And as much as that is something that is difficult to live through. But I do believe that it is the right thing to do. And what Kathy Hurley did, despite whether or not you would do it, I think that it is the right thing to do, to step in and to try and do something like that. That does not necessarily mean that you should go around looking for places where you can risk your life. That doesn't mean just go out of your way to try to, wandering around at night, like going into dark alleys, trying to fight crime like Batman or something like that. Like, you shouldn't go out trying to look for these things, but if you see the opportunity to do good, I think that it is a good thing and something that I would encourage. And like I said, not trying to say you should get into any danger, but I think that what Kathy Hurley did is the right thing. And for a student, when I see my students out there and they are entangled in a fight or something like that, I would like to jump in and try and stop that and prevent anyone from being hurt. Now, whether or not that is right according to my school district or whatever, that may be a different case. But like I said, I just wanted to throw that out there because that is some perspective and where my belief comes from as far as jumping in and stopping fights or that sort of thing. So, anyways, like I said, would you do this? Are you the teacher that jumps in and stops the fights? Are you the teacher that sits on the sidelines and lets someone else do that for you? Do you think that it is completely, what's the word? Stupid, I guess you could say, to jump in and do these things? Let me know down in the comment section below. Also, make sure that you like this video if you like this content and you want to see more of it. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell button so that you get notifications anytime I post a video. Thank you all for watching. That's all I have for you on this one. See you next time.